Hello, it's Thursday, April 10th. Welcome to Humber News, coming to you from the Broadcast Center here at the North Campus. I'm Josh McConnell. Thanks for joining us.
And I'm Kai Welsh. Ahead on our show, we have all your news, sports, and entertainment highlights, as well as your 5-day weather forecast. But first, Josh has our top story.
Sad news out of Ottawa. Jim Flaherty, Canada's former finance minister, has died. Ottawa police are outside Flaherty's condo and will update reporters shortly. The Speaker of the House of Commons has ended today's sitting until tomorrow after a discussion with the party leaders. Flaherty resigned March 18th, and his last tweet reads, "It has been an honor to serve Canada. Thank you for the opportunity." Already condolences are pouring in. Olivia Zhao told the National Post that Flaherty had a great sense of humor and a twinkle in his eye. Flaherty was 64. A cause of death has not been released. The Toronto Port Authority is asking the federal government for $100 million for Billy Bishop Airport. Porter Airlines would use the money to build a runway extension for Bombardier jets, something that hasn't been approved by the city. The request would also cover development to address traffic and access problems. The Port Authority and the airline will attend a public meeting at City Hall on Monday. One man is in custody after a stabbing left 4 people injured. They were taken to Sunnybrook Hospital. 2 have serious injuries. The incident happened this morning on the 5th floor of the Young Corporate Center close to York Mills subway station. Police say an office employee attacked the victims with what appears to be scissors and was arrested at the scene. Southbound lanes of Yonge Street have since been closed at Highway 401. The motive for the attack is still unknown. When we come back, we'll have more news from across the country and around the world. Jake Kordapat will have the sports news, and we'll have your weather forecast with Julia Grabowska. Thanks, guys. We're going to kick things off with your Sochi watch. Olympic history was made today when 2 athletes tied for the gold medal in women's downhill skiing. Tina Mays of Slovenia and Dominique Yazin of Switzerland crossed the finish line at the exact same time, right down to the 100th of a second. Talk about a photo finish. A big game in women's hockey today, and what could be a preview for the gold medal finals, Team Canada took on Team USA. Canada won 3-2, snapping a 4-game losing streak against the USA. In an intense game, Canada scored 3 third-period goals en route to the win. Megan Augusta celebrated her birthday today with 2 of the goals, and Haley Wickenheiser got the 3rd. The weather is causing some problems in Sochi. It's 16 degrees there, making it even warmer than some summer games. Organizers have plenty of snow on reserve for the ski hills, but the melt still causes issues. By the end of most events, the hills are slushy. Who would have thought you could get away from winter here in Toronto by going to the Winter Games? But weather aside, Canada is faring very well. We may not be first anymore, but Canada is sitting in second in the standings, just behind Germany. But Norway is creeping up behind us. There weren't as many chances to win gold today, but hopefully tomorrow we'll get back on the podium. Team Canada has made a decision about who will be starting goalie for men's hockey. Well, not really, but we're a bit closer. Game 1 against Norway will have Carey Price, and Roberto Luongo will take over for Game 2 against Austria. The team will see how each performs in net before deciding on the permanent starter. Now a little closer to home, the American Hockey League All-Star Skills Competition took place last night in Newfoundland. 2 of the Toronto Marlies, Spencer Abbott and TJ Brennan, were part of the action. It was the AHL versus Far East Stad BK of the Swedish Hockey League. The AHL came out ahead 18-7. Captain Jason Jeffrey scored in the final attempt of the breakaway event to tie, then scored again in the 3rd round of the shootout to win. Tonight, the teams meet again for the All-Star game. That's at 6:30. The Raptors host the Atlanta Hawks tonight at the ACC, wrapping up the unofficial first half of the season. The Raps may be 0-1 against the Hawks, but they've been a solid 6-4 in their last 10 games. Toronto is still first in their division and 3 wins over 500. Meanwhile, Atlanta is sitting exactly at the 500 mark. Tip-off is at 7. And that's your sports update. Now back to you in the studio. College and university campuses across the country are under the microscope for safety. But Humber College says if a sudden emergency did happen here, it would be ready.
Can we prevent an incident from occurring? That's tougher to do, but if something were to occur, then yes, we do have procedures for locking down the campus, getting people to find refuge and shelter in secure locations, and obviously we call in the Toronto Police.
Though Humber College says it may have the resources it needs in the case of an emergency, students, on the other hand, feel otherwise.
I don't feel like Humber would be ready. I feel like the security here doesn't put enough effort into the work that they do. I feel like they just stand around and just watch as the cars go by.
I don't know if they would actually be ready to take upon something like a shooting or something like that.
Kilfoyle says despite the concerns, students should not be worried.
Well, I don't know if that's necessarily a fair assessment. Obviously we deal with a number of different kinds of incidents on campus, and so if there is an actual, if there's an emergency situation, our people are going to respond in kind.
Humber says it is difficult to completely eliminate the possibility of an extreme emergency, but that out of the students they surveyed on campus, 97% of them say they still feel safe. Josh McConnell, Humber News. Sweet treats and great eats. Students in Humber's new baking and pastry program were hard at work this morning, making delicious desserts for today's Easter bake sale.
We're doing it to raise money for the program so we can get new equipment and new stuff for the students.
Though tasty baked goods is a start, for some students the long weekend will also be about traveling to spend time with family.
There might be some, if they open up the ski slopes again, there might be some skiing and snowboarding with some friends. Mostly it's just going to be a bunch of eating and stuff with my family because I haven't seen them since Christmas.
I'm going to Bolton with all my family. We're just going to go up there, have some family dinner, and just enjoy some time hanging out.
But if you aren't going far this long weekend, there's lots to do here in the city of Toronto. The Toronto Zoo is doing something a little different for kids, a crocodile egg hunt. Crocs at the zoo happens all day tomorrow. Meanwhile, Centreville is holding Toronto's biggest Easter egg hunt during its Easter egg extravaganza, which is happening all weekend. Kids 360 is holding its Easter bunny hop on Saturday, which is a free children's event featuring bouncy castles, egg decorating, and more. And you can walk around Trinity Bellward sampling many different chocolates at Tasty Tour's Easter Chocolate Tour, Saturday afternoon at 2:30. If chocolate isn't your thing, Tasty Tours is also holding a sweets tour on Sunday in Kensington Market, where you can walk and sample different candies. At the same time, Casa Loma is having its annual Easter brunch at 11:30 a.m. And finally, who can forget the Toronto Beaches Easter Parade? It starts at 2 p.m. on Sunday. So whether you're staying in Toronto this weekend eating some delicious desserts, or you're heading out of town to visit some family, enjoy your long weekend. For the final time, Josh McConnell, Humber News.